What up? It is me again. And apologies for the messy hair. I was wearing a beanie right after I got out of the shower, so it's a little bit messy. It's a little bit crazy. But basically today what I wanted to talk about is, bro, we gotta stop chasing women. Like, we have to stop being so desperate and like just stop like chasing the women, bro. Like, I'll explain. But first, I kind of want to introduce what made me start thinking about this. Because I seen this Instagram reel today, and this guy, he posted this Instagram reel where he's talking about how he'll go to the bar and get a bunch of women's numbers, and then he'll go back home to his wife. And like the joke being that like he has a wife, but he's going out and like getting numbers. Excuse me. And obviously there was people triggered in the comment section, rightfully so. I'm not gonna sit back and morally defend him, but he also made like a good point. Like, it basically, like, dudes in the comment section were defending him, saying like this is like the old head method to like see if you still got Riz, basically. And like, obviously women weren't having it. They're like, well, he's got a wife though. Like, he's got a wife. And he was saying how his wife will post like a bikini picture and like dudes will hit him or hit her up on IG, like asking if she's single and stuff. And so basically he was saying like women don't even have to try to get the attention. Like, guys have to try. So like, as a man, it's nice to know that you have the ability to get women, even if you already got one. Like, you've had one for a long time. And I'm not defending that. I think it's a flawed argument regardless, but it did make me kind of think. I was like, it really just kind of does reinforce those societal norms. Like, men are the ones who have to do the pursuing. Like, women typically are the ones who are just attractive, and that's why guys go up to them, and the rest is history, right? But it really did have me thinking. I was like, as men, like, why do we chase after women, bro? Like, why do we chase? It's all about the chase, right? Like, you'll hear people say on social media, like, oh, it was just, or like, not necessarily social media, but like women today, and women have even told this to me, but they'll say like, oh, it's just about the chase, right? Like, you're just all about the chase. Like, once you got the prize, like, then what? And like, to an extent, yeah, because that is what we have been trained to do. Like, men have been trained to chase, and then it's like, once you get there and you got the woman, sometimes it's not exactly what you expect, and you say, well, like, what now? Like, it was all about the chase. And I think women will say that as like an insult, but as men, like, what are we supposed to do? Like, you're not, I don't take it personally. If I've been told that a few times, and I don't take it personally, because I'm just kind of now starting to realize it. But we really have no, at least at this point in society, like, men do the chasing. I've already said it 1,000 times. But basically the point of this video was like, we don't actually have to. Like, we don't have to. This can be an equal playing field. Women can do a little bit of pursuing. There can be like hints being thrown at each other. It doesn't have to be all one-sided. And I think the first step to make, if you are a man and you don't want to do any more chasing, like, you want to find somebody who meets you where you are, you know? Because me, myself, I'm an introverted guy, And sometimes I see a pretty lady and I'm like, I don't always want to go up and say something to them. Like I just don't really have the balls. And that's not a bad thing. But I think as men, instead of doing the chasing, I think you just have to make yourself desirable. And here's how you can go about that. And again, don't like, I say it again, I never said this once, but like don't take my words like crazy seriously just because I'm not necessarily a 100% credible source, but I'm just kind of spitting ideas at this point, you know. But anyways, I think we should try our best to make ourselves presentable. Now, what does that mean? Well, you want to have things going for you. You want to at least have a job. You want to have some extracurriculars. Maybe up your fashion game a little bit. Like make yourself more visually interesting. Like you don't have to be like, I don't think I'm not like a model, you know what I'm saying? But there's been several people who come up to me, not necessarily women, actually almost never women, but guys will come up to me and be like, bro, I really fuck with what you're wearing right now. Like you're just kind of doing you. And it's true, like that's just one of those things that I think, at least in my eyes, makes me more interesting. Like you want to have, basically the moral of this whole story is that you want to have things going for you. Like how could you be a man who is just like everybody else and you expect women to like want to date you and you're the one doing the chasing? If you're just an average guy and you're like, why am I getting rejected all the time? It's probably because you're just doing the same thing as everybody else. Now, I don't want that to be misinterpreted, because we're all humans, like living under this earth. Like we all go on Instagram. We're all like intaking the same information. We all see the same news. Every single bit of information is just as accessible for me as it is to you. So we have the same resources, but it's just about like, what do you do with it? What I'm trying to say is that you have to make yourself interesting. You have to stand out. It's just like it's a job search, right? Like you want to be a standout candidate with your resume. You want to have standout job work, like experience, all of that. You have to stand out. That's how you get hired. It's the same for the dating world. Like you have to be, like you kind of have to have like conversational skills. Like you have to be able to talk to women without getting froze up. And so what that means for guys, like, bro, get into fashion a little bit. Like get into some extracurriculars. Stay in shape. Discipline yourself in all types of different ways. That can mean anything you want it to mean, really. Basically what I'm saying is that you need to make yourself presentable, like I said all these times. But I think it also stems from one more like societal problem. Like social media most definitely plays a part in all of this. But it's also, like, having that said, it's also like pornography. It's also men who have like addiction to pleasing themselves. And there's some men out there who would rather not go talk to a girl because they can just please themselves. And I think that is a part of the problem. Most definitely is. It's a big part of the problem. Guys are so weird. They don't talk to girls. They don't have regular friendships with women. So they don't know how to carry conversations with women, whether it's platonic or like romantic. And they wonder why they don't have a girl. It's like, bro, take a look at your like circumstances. Like, are you a boring person? Can you hold a conversation? Do you have an addiction to pornography? Like, take a look at yourself before you start complaining about why women don't want you. And I'm not sitting here saying like I don't get all the women. You know, like I'm not a ladies' man in any regard. Like, I'm socially awkward. Most definitely I'm introverted by nature. And anytime I see a girl who I think maybe is attractive, I'm never gonna approach that, honestly. Like, that's just not me. Unless it's a dire situation, right? But yeah, basically what I wanted to say is, if you are a man and you are lonely and you wonder why women don't seem to be interested in you, take a look at yourself, bro. And we got to stop normalizing the chase as men. It's got to be equally reciprocated. But I'm already at 11 minutes, so this is going over a little bit, but I hope my message was able to be interpreted. Men, stop chasing. Just make yourself more interesting, bro. And if that doesn't change anything, cut out your bad habits, replace them with new ones. And, excuse me, it's as simple as it gets. Yeah, that's all I got.